Hey, good morning. Well, we're at the duplex project right now, but actually what we're here for is to pick up the rice that's been cooked for our feeding program today. So we're going up to the Village of Hope, which some of you may never have seen. The Village of Hope, it's an orphanage that is high in the mountains and very spectacular views, and so quite beautiful. And let's see, I'm just looking in Menzies' house. Yes, it's a lot of activity. Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, well, I won't intrude on that. But okay. So lots of materials because this is a site, as I say, for the duplex. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going well with this. So the problem here, which caused some confusion in some of our subscribers, has said they'd watched the video and they didn't actually know what had happened because they hadn't seen one of the other videos. So this particular site is in what they would call high tide. It's the mangroves. It's the mangroves, and they're allowed to touch the mangroves. They're spotty, as you can see. They're not all mangroves, but down there they are, and you're not allowed to. They're protected, and quite rightly too. But we were given this site here with lots of inherent problems. It requires a great deal of infill, and that was the problem. Is that the couple in particular of different subscribers said, did I miss something? I don't know what happened. And it's very simple. There's nothing being removed from in the walls, it's being put into the walls. So obviously we've got a site here which is in deep water when the tide comes in, especially the high tide. As you can see there, look, that man would be standing and probably calf deep in water. So the first challenge is to get the walls in. And once we've got the walls up to a certain level, I would have filled it in already by now, but we try not to micromanage the guys that are doing the work. This is hard enough work as it is. But you can see they've done some filling, and all of this stuff that I'm standing on now is going to be infill. So we'll be infilling that, and the reason for that obviously is, if you can look at that's Menzies' house, the blue and white house, and where it comes up to the blue, that's a little bit, just a little, maybe one course of block below the level that it has to be in order to be above high tide when that tide comes in. So now that we're getting up there, we will reach a stage where they'll be getting all of this material that I'm standing on right now, and they're going to be doing the very, very hard work of putting it into there. And what had confused the two subscribers said, I don't understand what's shocking about what Beth saw. Well, Beth's a woman. She doesn't do any shoveling, and she's not a labourer, and so the sight of all of this stuff now, which now has to be moved with a shovel, okay, a shovel and a strong back, and it has to be shoveled into there, and that for Beth, with her interpretation of the English language, said that she was shocked at what our workers would have to do. So we're up, we'll be doing a duplex which will be in the style of Menzies' house there, in the style that we've now arrived at with our houses. We do full cement block houses, as you can see. We had gone through a stage where at first doing much less expensive houses, and we're now at something like 76, I think 76 houses, not quite sure about these. I think that Menzies was 74, so 75 and 76 are the duplexes. And we went to Gindolman one particular time and we did about 10 houses. When we got to Gindolman, which is a couple of hours drive from where we live, so it's a different area, different prices, and especially with this pandemic, prices are going crazy. Not quite so much as probably America, but they are very volatile. And the price of wood, which is what we were using for half of the houses, if you watched any of our other videos, you'll have seen that the houses were about maybe 4 or 5 or sometimes 6 courses of hollow block, and then on top of that a wood frame with a Macon cladding. And that was the design that we were doing. But that requires a good supply of wood, which has its own problems. The wood here, you don't go down to the timber yard and just order it, and you certainly don't have a Home Depot where you can go and buy beautifully treated wood. No, there's none of that. You send a chainsaw crew out to a designated tree. They cut the tree down and they cut it into your cut list of whatever you're building, and it's expensive. So we decided at that point that we would what shall we say, that we would change our building method and start doing things in hollow block, which is where we're at now. So that's the story. And now we are building, we're very proud to be building much better quality houses which will last many a year. So there we are now, and now we're at the building site. It's a Saturday, so there's not a huge amount going on today. There's a young lady. She is one of the recipients. She's one of the children of the families that are going to be receiving one of these houses. And she looks like she's cooking fish, and I'm waving to her, and she's not interested in waving back. Hello, hi. I got a hi. So thanks for looking in, and we'll be back with more. Bye for now.